I know. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'd like to call the meeting of the Wayne County Commission to order. Don't know why I have echo. Roll call, please. Y'all set?
You have a quorum present.
Next item,
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of
please stand
America.
for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. Thank you. Next item.
Invocation.
I'd like to call on Commissioner Peterson Mayberry for the introduction of our invocator for this morning.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It gives me great honor to bring before you today a powerhouse that sits in District 5. I was able to go to service a couple of Sundays ago, and I think I am still seeing smoke come out of the building. Bishop Reginald E. Smith. Bishop Smith is a native Detroiter from Michigan and an esteemed pastor of Union Grace Missionary Baptist Church. There he faithfully served since 1998, following the legacy of his father. Bishop Smith is a graduate of Alabama State University and the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology at Virginia Union University, where he holds a Master of Divinity along with an honorary doctorate of theology degree. Under his visionary leadership, Union Grace has grown into a thriving ministry, expanding through a new church campus, impactful educational programs, community outreach initiatives, and the Union Grace Community Development Corporation, all while welcoming hundreds of new members. He's a dynamic preacher and teacher and an author of Surviving Tough Times and Basic Bible Themes. And he's the former host of a widely viewed television broadcast, Keeping It Real. Bishop Smith has served as the president of Kingdom Building Pastors and People International. Currently, he serves as the Michigan State Bishop for the Global United Fellowship under the leadership of the presiding Bishop Joel E. Peoples. He's a member of the Faith-Based Council for the Detroit Public School Community District and a devoted husband to Lady Tracy Smith, Esquire, and proud father of 3 sons. Bishop Smith is known for delivering powerful, Christ-centered messages that inspire and transform lives across generations and now our county. Would you welcome Bishop Reginald E. Smith?
Thank you, Commissioner. Let us bow in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts, thanking you for the privilege of gathering for this Wayne County Commissioners meeting. We ask for your guidance, your wisdom, and your grace as we begin this public meeting. Please bless every elected official, staff members, and especially the commissioners who faithfully serve the residents of the 15 districts of Wayne County. Grant them discernment to make decisions that promote equality, economic justice, and fairness for all the residents of Wayne County. Help them to listen to one another with open minds and respectful hearts, and to work together in unity even when disagreement arises. And may their words be constructive, their actions honorable, and their efforts fruitful for the well-being of this community. Give them strength to lead with integrity, compassion and sincerity, commitment to the people that they serve. We ask these blessings in your holy name. We pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.
Thank you, Bishop, for that impactful prayer. Thank you so much. Next item,
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Palomero.
Move approval.
There's support? Supported by Commissioner Mayberry Peterson Mayberry. Any corrections to the journal? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
Report from the chair.
Nothing today. Next item.
Unfinished business, there is none listed. We are moving to offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There is one item listed, a resolution by Commissioner Scott supporting law enforcement agencies in the critical role they play in ensuring the safety and health of our communities and roles that frequently place their own health and safety at risk, especially in regard to their mental health, and encouraging the Michigan legislature to craft legislation to better serve the needs of law enforcement officials, including adequate time for law enforcement officials to seek mental health care.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would hope that my colleagues would support this resolution because we know that our law enforcement agencies are busy every day. And it seems like more than ever now, we're having these problems, some of the youth in that. And so and their mental health of the public safety officers and those. So we've crafted this resolution to serve the needs of the law enforcement officers. And my representative is willing to carry this on inland.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Is there support for the resolution? Supported by, I'm sorry, Monique Baker McCormick, Mr. Button. Any discussion on the resolution? Yes, Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the point of mental health, I had submitted a resolution and I thought it would be prepared in time because this is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so as this resolution talks to that issue, I just want everyone to be aware that mental health is a serious matter in most of our lives. We probably know someone, even ourselves sometimes have anxiety and mental health issues. So I just want to recognize that this month is a month that you just want to take more care of yourself and try to breathe through things that happen in your life. And if you need help, there is always help. Thank you, Madam Chair.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you, Commissioner.
And to that point, I want to remind everyone that 988 is the new number for a mental health crisis that you may have. 911, we all know that for an emergency, but 988 is the number to call if you're having a mental crisis. So please, let's get the word out and normalize 988 like we've normalized 911. Thank you. So it's been moved by Commissioner Scott. I'm looking at my board now, supported by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. Please vote.
And carries.
Okay, can we open it up for co-sponsors, Madam Commissioner?
Board is now open for co-sponsors.
The co-sponsor, please indicate. My technology is not working, okay.
The board is now open for co-sponsors. Co-sponsors duly noted.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner Scott, and thank you, Commissioner Baker McCormick, for uplifting the need for mental health services throughout our agencies and throughout all of our individuals, young and old alike. Thank you. Next item.
We're moving to reports from committees. Report A is from the Committee on Economic Development. There are 3 items listed.
For those of you who are new to the Wayne County Commission meeting and maybe on Zoom, we operate in committees, and the committees vet and discuss these items that are before us thoroughly, and they come to the full board for final disposition. Commissioner Wilson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of the Economic Development Committee, who met on May the 12th, 26, room 704 at 10 a.m., I recommend receive and file of item number 1, which speaks to the updates of the Emergency Rental Assistance Program and the ERAP Vulnerable Resident Support Program, and approval of items 2 and 3, which item 2 speaks to the full board 2-year professional services agreement with the Bureau Veritas, technical assessments in the amount of $442,625. Item number 3, approval of amendment number 1 to the Community Energy Management Grant with the Michigan Department of Environmental Great Lakes for feasibility study of potential solar use at county facilities.
Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Wilson, supported by Commissioner Baker McCormick. Discussion, Commissioner Peterson Mayberry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know in committee, we talked about item number 2, and there was some additional follow-up that was going to be provided. I'm not sure if I missed that or if someone is here to speak to item number 2. I know there were some questions around the RFP and it not being the ability to go to the lowest bidder, these 2 outside contractors from out of the state. If someone could speak to that, Madam Chair.
Through the chair, Aaron Wagner, Procurement Director. This was a public solicitation that was issued on BidNet Direct. We had 9 proposals that were received. The evaluation committee went through and rated those proposals on a scoring matrix that was included within the solicitation documents. And so with our request for proposals, there's one part that is pricing, but the majority is based off of the quality of the solicitation. And so in this instance, there was a deselection process where they vetted through the initial proposals and took the top few, and then focused on those for the initial determination. That was based on the qualitative, not the quantitative. So it wasn't a price-driven solicitation. It was both price and the quality of it.
Thank you for that, Director. And I think, Madam Chair, what was discussed is that there were local vendors who were highly recommended from the Economic Development Committee. However, in procurement, there's a different rubrics that's used, and we went back and forth on, because we were told that we had to go with the lowest bidder for this, and that's why this vendor was selected. And I don't know, Madam, if our council wants to speak to it, but there was information that was going to be given back to us because this was not, the rubrics was much different. And so I'm a huge advocate of local vendors when we can do that. And, both of these vendors, the contractor and the sub, are both out of the state. However, there were 4, if I'm not mistaken, 4 local vendors who applied for this and were in the top ranking. And I know they do national work in addition to work in the state around this same facility assessments work. So I'm just curious to know from procurement, how different was the rubrics from procurement than economic development as to why these 2 out-of-state vendors rose to the top of the list for recommendation?
So procurement doesn't evaluate or score on the proposals. We run the process, right? And so all of the evaluation committee members who were assigned by the department were the ones that scored. And so they took the aggregate of those scores, and then that's how the rankings came out. So I'm not sure, I wasn't in the meeting, so I'm not sure where the question came that there was a delta between a matrix from a procurement perspective, because that matrix would have been based off of the scoring criteria that was put into the solicitation. So we don't change it midway through, if you will.
I see someone approaching, not sure if she's approaching to add color to the context.
Good morning, Erin Kelly, Director of Sustainability and Innovation Division in the Economic Development Department. What we discussed at the committee meeting was that the scoring committee was able to score on 3 of the 4 selected categories in the posted RFP, and the 4th category was interpreted by the assigned purchaser, and that is the pricing. And so the pricing was highly influential on the selection of vendors that went into the contract before you.
Well, and that's standard for our solicitations. And so, you know, it's typically 25% of the evaluation goes to pricing, 75% goes to the quality of the proposal. And when the pricing comes in, it's not ranked or rated as far as, you know, a 1 through 5 scoring. What procurement does is we'll take the lowest score, assign the 25 points to that, and then the next lowest score gets a percentage of those 25 points. So it's not an all or nothing. If it's close, there could be 25 awarded to the lowest bid, and then the next the lowest bid could get 24 or 23 points based on what the delta is between the 2 prices. And it's that's spelled out within the solicitation documents as well.
One final comment, Madam Chair. So the local contractors, the local bidders, were they so far off as it relates to
Yes.
quality and pricing as to why we would not have even selected one for a subcontractor to go to New York for a subcontractor and Maryland for the main contractor?
So in these instances, we don't award the subcontractors. The suppliers who put in the bids will, as part of their solicitation, identify who their subs are. And so in this instance, you know, we wouldn't award the second as a sub to the first, right? So if the top quality and the lowest price happen to be this firm from out of state, that's how the ranking came in. You know, it could have been that this firm was very, very close to the local firms, but because it was price-based and this was a federally funded program, our evaluation credits aren't applicable in those instances because they're federal funds, not general funds that are being used.
Thank you, Director. I don't know if this is unprecedented or not, but I would be interested in seeing the scores for those who applied and what the evaluation process was and the rubrics that was used.
Yes, in the packet, in the recommendation memo, it does have the rankings and the evaluation. So you'll see what the points distribution was between all of the suppliers and as to who was awarded.
Thank
So
you.
it would be for all of those suppliers in the recommendation memo.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any additional discussion, Commissioner Baker McCormick?
Of clarification, when you talk about ranking, does it include a point system or ranking for local suppliers? Do we give credit, more credit or some credit towards a supplier that is locally based?
So through the chair, if a supplier is county-based and registered through the Human Relations Business Inclusion Program and they're certified, you know, depending on what the dollar amount is, they would receive a 2% evaluation credit overall if it's a general fund program. And this is part of our solicitation documentation as well, if a supplier utilizes local subcontractors, they also could have points awarded as well. And so in those instances, you know, those are put into, or their pricing usually is applied to the pricing as far as the certifications. That pricing would be a reduction as we evaluate the overall price. And so if it's $100,000 contract and they're county-based and they're in a targeted growth, they could, depending on how many certifications a business has, get up to a 10% reduction in our evaluation credits. So we'll look at that $100,000 bid as a $90,000 bid, and that's what we'll evaluate it off of. The contract will still be written for $100,000. We're just, we're evaluating based on those county certifications. If a business utilizes subcontractors, there's additional points that are given of the overall score. I believe it's up to 5 that they can be awarded. And then once all of those evaluations are done, we look at the rankings from that perspective. Because when our solicitation documents go out, we have the scoring matrix, and it lists out how every section is weighted, as well as the pricing, and then it talks about the local sub inclusion as well.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes.
If I may add, we posted this RFP in December of
Last year.
24?
Yeah.
December 24. And in the Economic Development Department, under Interim Director Cartwright's leadership, we have new policies and practices in place as well to support participation by local vendors. We did significant outreach and had, I believe, 43 vendors present for the pre-bid related to this opportunity.
One more question from me. Aaron, you mentioned that the businesses, if they're local, need to be certified. If it's a local business that is not certified, do they get the credits or do they have to be certified to get the credits?
Per the ordinance, they have to be a certified business in order to get the evaluation credits. And so procurement's been working on outreach programs with HRBI to get into the communities. We've been partnering with the city of Detroit, kind of attending a lot of their outreach programs, as well as some other small and local business outreach programs, getting the word out about this. So we're focusing on local inclusion. We're focusing on local businesses, you know, looking at small purchases, especially because we have what are called informal bids, where the departments are able to select, or they select 3 suppliers and have to do a competitive bid that way. It's not a public bid, but working with HRBI, we've been providing and creating lists of Wayne County-based businesses for the departments to send quotes out to. And so I can speak to the commissioners about that in upcoming committee meetings to really flush out that program, and would be happy to talk one-on-one with anybody.
Thank you, because the county executive and I both talked and agreed that we do need to look more into our local businesses when we're giving out contracts, because we do have so many qualified businesses, not only in Michigan, but particularly in Wayne County.
Yes.
So I would like to hear more about that at an upcoming meeting on how we're going to address that.
Certainly.
Thank you. Commissioner Peterson Mayberry, did you?
Thank you, Madam Chair. That was my comment. And then I think finally, I'll just say, do we encourage vendors and contractors to support local vendors as their subcontractor?
Yes, and so through our solicitation documents, you know, we award additional points for local subcontractors, but also too, we now have lists that, you know, and this is a fairly recent occurrence on getting the up-to-date list of who those certified businesses are. So we'll be able to provide those upon request to bidders so that they know who, and they're organized by category. And so, you know, if someone's looking for a local printer that they want to partner with, they'll be able to look on this list and see a printing company, right? If it's a construction contract, it's, you know, broken out by mechanical engineers, skills trades, electricians, those types of things. And so that's really how we're structuring this program to support those things.
Thank you, because it is disheartening that local businesses have to go outside sometimes of the county and the state in order to be revered as providing quality work, when we know that they do the work and they do it with excellence, and yet they're still not getting the support. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Any additional discussion on the report? Hearing none, please vote.
Madam Chair, I'm abstaining from item number 2.
Motion carries.
Next item.
We're moving to Report B from the Committee on Public Services. There are 27 items listed on pages 3 through 11 of the agenda.
Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move items 1 through 27 for approval.
Moved by Commissioner Marecki, supported by Commissioner Kinlock. Any discussion on the 27 items on the Public Services Report? Any discussion on any of the items on Public Services? Commissioner Kenizi?
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I want to thank everyone that we had the opportunity to work with in the administration on 3 of these items, particularly the investments to the Booker Dozier Recreation Center in Inkster, and then 2 different stretches of improvements along Inkster Road between Dearborn Heights, Garden City, and excuse me, Dearborn Heights and Westland. That being said, with the permission of the committee chair, I'd like to be the maker of the motion on items 13, 18, and 25. Thank you.
Duly noted.
Vice Chair Palomero? Any additional discussion on the Public Services Report? Questions, discussion on any of the items on Public Services? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries. Have Commissioner Kenizik as the maker of the motion on items 13, 18, and 25.
Thank you. Next item.
We're moving to Report C from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 7 items listed on pages 11 through 13 of the agenda.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Move to support all the items from Health and Human Service from items number 1 through 7.
Moved by Commissioner Scott, supported by Commissioner Marecki. The items 1 through 7 on the Health and Human Services Report. Any discussion on the items on Health and Human Services? Any discussion on any of the items on Health and Human Services? All right, please vote.
Madam Chair, I need to abstain from item number 5.
Duly noted. Motion carries. Have Commissioner Peterson Mayberry as an abstention on item number 5.
Next item.
We're moving to Report D from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 8 items listed on pages 13 through 15 of the agenda.
Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move items 1 through 4 for receive and file, and the remaining items 5 through 8 for approval.
Moved by Commissioner Dobb, supported by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. Discussion, Commissioner Kenizik.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to abstain on item 7.
Duly noted.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can someone speak to item?
Good morning to the Chair, Lester Thomas, Administrator, Adult Community Corrections.
Can you speak to what this item is, sir?
Yes, this is request for ratification of the Chair's exigent approval of 1-year grant between the Charter County of Wayne and the Michigan Department of Corrections Office of Community Corrections for $900,000 with no county match.
You have a particular question, Commissioner?
I just wanted you to talk about the jail-based domestic violence prevention treatment, women trauma for care. Can you just give us some information about those programs that the grant?
Okay, jail-based, excuse me, I'm sorry, were you finished?
Yes.
I didn't know if I cut you off, I'm sorry. All right, we have a jail-based cognitive behavior therapy program that works in the jail, that felony offenders, and they do cognitive behavior therapy. And we work in conjunction with the Wayne County Sheriff Department in identifying those offenders that would benefit from that program. And then we have a community-based as well as a jail-based domestic violence program that is run by the same vendor. And it's actually, one program is in the jail and then another one is it's in the community where it addresses specifically domestic violence, people that have been convicted or have assaultive behaviors when it comes to a perpetrator. So they address those, people. And then we have trauma-informed care where we deal with particularly women, but it's also men that have been maybe victims of trauma or have actually need some assistance in dealing with trauma. So we address those issues as well as violence prevention program. This particular program is community-based and it's geared towards those who may have assaultive and or gun charges that that has contributed to the violence in our community. So we want to have a program that will address that and deal with recidivism so that we can bring those numbers down.
And you indicated that some of these programs are outside of our facilities.
Yes, the jail-based program and domestic violence program, those are jail-based. We have two of those jail-based, but then the domestic violence also have an community-based program as well as the violence prevention and the trauma-informed care.
And is it a certain time span for these programs? Is it
Yes, they
1
can
year,
range,
6
they can
months?
range
Mhm.
community-based, the jail programs can range like from 20 days, 20 particular days. And then some of the community programs can range up to 9 months. It depends on the individual program. Like the violence prevention program can go up to 9 months. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Any additional discussion on the committee report? Please vote.
Motion carries. I have Commissioner Kenizik as an abstention on item number 7.
Item, please.
We're moving to Report E from the Committee on Government Operations. There are 12 items listed on pages 15 through 19 of the agenda.
Commissioner Clemente.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move items 1 and 4 through 12 for approval and items 2 and 3 for receive and file.
Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Clemente, supported by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. Any discussion on the government operations report? Any discussion on the items on the government operations report? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
We're on page 19 of the agenda, upcoming meetings.
Okay, please note the upcoming meetings. Please let me, the chair, know if there are any changes to the upcoming meetings.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
just like to let everyone know that the Ways and Means meeting scheduled for the 26th will be postponed.
Postpone Ways and Means on the 26th. Thank you. Next item.
We're moving to page 20 of the agenda, new business, immediate consideration. There are 2 items listed on the agenda and 1 on the addenda. Item number 1 is requesting commission approval of the appointment of Al Haydes to serve as an alternate to Wayne County Commissioner Kara Clemente on the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments General Assembly.
Next item also.
Item number 2 is requesting commission approval of the appointment of Anthony Cartwright to serve as an alternate to Wayne County Register of Deeds Bernard Youngblood on the Southeast Michigan Council of Governments General Assembly.
All right, I'll take a motion for both of these items, moved by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry, supported by Commissioner Marecki. Any discussion on these two appointments? Any discussion on these two appointments? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
All right, congratulations to you both. Next item.
Item number three. Item number three is requesting commission approval of the appointment of Barry Blackwell as nominated by Detroit Mayor Mary Sheffield to the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network Board.
Is there a motion? Moved by Commissioner Kinlock. There's support. Supported by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. Discussion, is Mr. Blackwell here? This is to the D-Win Board, and this is the city appointment. Mr. Blackwell?
Good morning to this honorable body. Chair Bell, thank you all for the opportunity to be here today. Commissioner Kinlock, I just want to say that this is an incredible opportunity. I remember as a kid, 18 years old, serving on the Barton McFarland Neighborhood Association under Ms. Hazel. And so to be here today, fast forward many years later, I am incredibly honored. So thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, and thank you for your service as a young man to the Barton McFarland, which we both lived in that neighborhood.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
lifting up Ms. Hazel, she was a dynamic leader, but thank you so much. I just wanted to bring you up here so everyone can see Mr. Barry Blackwell. Any questions or discussion for him? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any discussion on the item? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Okay, congratulations. Look forward to your leadership on the D-Win Board.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to this commission.
Thank you, sir. Next item.
We're on testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 8 items listed.
Is there a motion for the testimonials and certificates of appreciation? Moved by Commissioner Marecki, supported by Commissioner Dobb. Commissioner Scott, discussion?
Trying to get,
Oh,
make a motion and that didn't.
okay, no problem. Any discussion on these items? And I'll just make note to item number 7. At the Women's Resource Fair that was at Wayne County Community College District Northwest Campus, did have an opportunity to present the president of the Wayne County Women's Commission to Cynthia Douglas for her leadership as president. They had a very successful resource fair. So we want to continue to thank her for her leadership on so many active boards through our community. It was the one time I think we brought her to tears. So, so we want to continue to thank her for her service and appreciate all that you do for the Wayne County Women's Commission. Hearing no further discussion, please vote.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next item, please.
We're on item C, memoriams. There are 5 names listed.
Okay, we want to give our sincerest sympathies to our very own Joe Slezak and the passing of his mother. We are keeping you and your family in our prayers, Joe, through this most difficult time. And we will have a memoriam presented at the memorial for your mother. So know that we're keeping you in our prayers. Are there any other names to be uplifted at this time? Commissioner Peterson Mayberry?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to add the name of Mr. William Ware Sr. Last year, shortly after I was appointed to this space, Mr. William Ware had turned 100 years old, and I had an opportunity to celebrate his birthday with him and got the unfortunate call from his daughter on yesterday that he passed
Oh.
at 101 years old.
101.
William Ware Sr., W-A-R-E. Thank you.
Thank you. Celebration of life, 101. Amen. Thank you. Any additional names? Hearing none, please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you so much. Next item.
Public comments.
Okay, on Zoom, there will be 2 minutes for public comments. Is there anyone on Zoom wishing to give public comments to the Wayne County Commission? Any hands raised? Anyone on Zoom? Anyone in the chambers wishing to give public comments to the Wayne County Commission? Anyone? Going twice. Anyone? 3 times. All right. Next item.
Reconsiderations.
There are none.
Remarks by members.
Any remarks by members at this time? Commissioner Dodd.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've got two things. Last week, I think it was last week, Cynthia, correct me if I'm wrong. The Wayne County Women's Commission approved their annual report. So not sure exactly. I will find out how that will be published to the commission and the general public, but stay tuned on that.
Okay.
But lots of great work that we did this year. And of course, a very, very successful resource fair. So thank you very much to our chairwoman, Cynthia Douglas. Thank you. And then moving on to National Association of Counties held their infrastructure fly-in for Infrastructure Week in Washington, D.C. On Monday through Wednesday. I attended, just got back actually this morning at 1 a.m. Slight delays, but it was really great. Just coincidentally, on Sunday, Congress unveiled the Build America 250 Act. So lots of good stuff in there for counties, particularly for bridges. $5.5 billion. Oh, I'm sorry. We used to get $5.5 billion per year. It's increased to $9 billion per year. They are going to increase from a 15% set aside to 25% set aside for locally owned bridges. And then also for cost sharing, it's gone up from an 80 to 20% cost sharing to 95 to 5%. So that's really beneficial, especially for smaller counties, more rural counties where it's kind of difficult for them to get that, county or local cost share. So NACO and MAC are very pleased with this bill. There's a lot more stuff in there, discretionary grants, public transit, permitting reform. MAC did send out an email on Tuesday with some information about the bill and asking all of us to contact our representatives. So if you haven't done that, please try and take some time today to send a text, email, or make a phone call. Let them know that we like the bill. So, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for representing Wayne County at the fly-in. I sent to everyone a little recap of what was discussed at the NABCO conference and the WIR conference about some of the amazing things that NACO has been working on at the federal level. That's one of the things with Infrastructure Week. Just for everyone's edification, NACO works very hard with our congressional delegations across the country to make sure that Congress understands what bills need to be passed and how they affect counties across the country, large counties, medium-sized, rural counties, and they have been very successful in putting language together that benefit the counties. And I emailed a recap of some of those things that everyone should have received. So as we get more information about the good work that NACO is doing on behalf of counties across the country, we'll continue to keep you posted on that. So thank you for your efforts as well, Commissioner Dobb. Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too want to acknowledge the work of the women of NACO. As the president, I attended the conference for NACO and NABCO, where we celebrated women leaders from all over our country, and we are continuously recruiting members for the women of NACO, which support women leaders. Also, I want to recognize the Wayne County Commission Civic Youth Council. We had young people that completed this year's council, graduated. They're graduating this year, 2026, and they worked on a policy resolution that talked to financial literacy. They believe that financial literacy classes should be taught in schools around Wayne County, and want us to support their efforts. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any additional remarks by members? Any additional remarks by members? Hearing none. Next item.
Adjournment.
Okay. One more thing before we adjourn. Thursday, June 4th is our next meeting. I think we're going to have an item on the agenda that I will ask that everyone please review the committee video on the towing contract so that if you have any questions, those answers to your questions can be found if you watch the committee video. If they are not, please reach out to the department so that we can get through that item because it was passed for date certain, which is June 4th. And at that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. Wait. Thank you. We have a couple of things going on in May. 2 big holidays in May, not just Memorial Day, but the birthday of Commissioner Alan Wilson on May 24th. All right, holiday. And then our other holiday will be celebrating Commissioner Peterson Mayberry's birthday on May 31st. So we want to make sure that we recognize and celebrate a year of life. We don't take life for granted because you never know. But we want to thank you all for your service and hope that you enjoy your birthday month through the month of May. All righty. And now with that, I'm sorry, did you have one more thing?
Just one thing, Madam Chair, I forgot. Thank you. I'll be turning 21 again.
Yes.
I did want to invite, if people are interested, I worked really hard to get the new CEO of DMC Sinai, Mr. Lance Buis, present for a town hall. And although it will happen in District 5, because that is the healthcare hospital in District 5, it is open to everyone. So on June the 2nd, and it's at the Carpenter and Millwrights Training Center, 5:30 p.m. So it's just an opportunity for the community to hear from the CEO and the CEO to hear, more importantly, from the community as it relates to DMC Sinai. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And if you have a flyer that you can send to all of us, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. And with that, I think we will adjourn. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.